This is the weekly sales meeting for July 12th, 2026. My name is Chris Fleming. You can reach me at chris@cdmediaconsulting.com or go to our website at cdmediaconsulting.com. Today's topic, don't give up, don't give in. Every seller hits a wall. It is inevitable. The real question is, what do you do when you hit yours? Some freeze, some back off, some blame the market. But top performers, they press forward. They sharpen their message. They increase activity, not their anxiety. They don't retreat. They will re-engage. They know that momentum isn't found in excuses. It is built through action. When things get tough, they get tougher. They get moving. Because winners don't wait for the wall to move. They find a way over, under, or through it. Sales is simple, but it isn't easy. You already know that. It is easy to point fingers at the market, the price, or the product. What is hard is the honest self-assessment. Asking, am I doing everything I can? Most sellers don't ask. At least we are not asking it with any degree of consistency, especially when things feel uncomfortable. They slow down, they justify, they wait. But the ones who win take full ownership. They push through the discomfort. They do the work, even when it's hard. That is the difference between average and elite. Effort always exposes the truth. Every seller hits resistance. That is not a theory, it is a fact. Rejection is built into the role. The question is not whether you will hit a wall. The question is, what do you do when you do? Most people slow down. They protect their ego. They call it strategy. The elite increase intelligent effort. They do not panic. They do not retreat. They lean in. They understand something most sellers forget. Momentum does not appear. It is manufactured. Thomas Edison said many of life's failures are people who did not realize how close they were to success when they gave up. He ran more than 1,000 failed experiments before perfecting the light bulb. He did not see failure. He saw iteration. Sales works the same way. The deal that feels dead is often one disciplined follow-up away from life. Do not confuse rejection with finality. A no today is often a not yet. The sellers who win are the ones who stay present long enough for timing to change. Calvin Coolidge said nothing in this world can take the place of persistence. Talent will not. Genius will not. Education will not. Persistence and determination alone are omnipotent. That statement survives because it proves true over time. Skill matters. Discipline matters more. Jim Rohn said if you're not willing to risk the unusual, you will have to settle for the ordinary. Risk in sales often means one more call, one more meeting, one more uncomfortable conversation about budget or timeline. Ordinary sellers stop when discomfort starts. Exceptional sellers recognize discomfort as the signal to continue. Sales is a grit profession. The scoreboard favors stamina. Salesforce published the State of Sales report. In it, we find high-performing sellers are more likely to say they maintain consistent follow-up habits. They operate with structured activity plans. The numbers are not even close. It is not magic. It is repetition with intention. Fear drives most early exits. Fear of looking pushy. Fear of hearing no again. Fear of wasting time. Yet the irony is clear. The seller who fears rejection loses far more opportunity than the one who risks it. William Feather wrote, "Success seems to be largely a matter of hanging on after others have let go." That sentence captures the essence of the sales profession. Persistence is not desperate. It is disciplined action. There is a difference between persistence and pestering. Persistence adds value. It shows up with insight. It references prior conversations. It advances the process. Pestering is self-focused. It seeks relief from anxiety. And a buyer can tell the difference. If your follow-up has purpose, it earns respect. If it is random, it earns resistance. The key is relevance. Do not merely reach out. Reach out with intent tied to their stated goals. Another area where sellers give up too soon is internal belief. You cannot defend value you do not believe in. Confidence is not volume. It is intentional movement. It is knowing the specific problem you solve and how well you solve it. It is approaching each customer from a utilitarian point of view, then framing your solution as the opportunity for the customer to succeed. The Harvard Business Review research shows that buyers respond best to sellers who speak with conviction. They want sellers who can help them clearly define their problem. When a seller frames the issue and outlines a path forward, trust increases. It is ×2 when it is done with confidence. When the seller appears unsure, persuasion collapses. Indecision creates doubt. Doubt slows decisions. Buyers mirror the confidence level in front of them. If you hesitate, they hesitate. If you speak with clarity and certainty, they move with greater confidence towards action and commitment. Do not underestimate how quickly doubt spreads. The instant you lower your price too soon, soften your tone, or avoid asking for a clear decision, you reveal uncertainty. You may believe you are being flexible, but the message feels different on the other side of the table. Buyers sense hesitation. They question value. They'll slow down. Confidence invites momentum. Uncertainty invites scrutiny. What you signal shapes how they respond. Never underestimate how fast that doubt travels. The moment you cut your price too quick, it will happen. The moment you soften your language, it will happen. The moment you avoid asking for a clear-cut commitment, it will happen. You communicate uncertainty. You may not say it outright, but it shows. Buyers notice tone. They notice timing. They notice hesitation. Those small signals shape how they view your value and your confidence. When you appear unsure, they become cautious. When you stand firm and speak directly, they feel safer moving forward. There will be moments when a deal feels unstable. Pressure builds, responses slow down, silence lingers longer than you would like. That is when resolve separates professionals from everyone else. Research from Gong.io shows that top performers remain engaged during late-stage objections instead of pulling back. They ask another question. They clarify concerns. They keep the dialogue moving. While others retreat to protect themselves, they stay present and work through the tension until a clear outcome is reached. Staying does not mean a blind push. It means asking better questions. You should seek to clarify what is holding the customer back. You can and should even ask that question. What is holding you back at this moment? If you have done your job, you have earned that right. You should seek direct answers instead of accepting vague ones. There are 2 acceptable outcomes in professional selling: yes and no. Anything else is unfinished business. Discipline beats short bursts of motivation every time. Motivation rises and falls with mood. Discipline shows up regardless of mood. James Clear wrote Atomic Habits. In it, he explains habits compound. Small actions repeated daily create results that seem disproportionate over time. Sales follows the same rule. Consistent prospecting fills the pipeline. Structured follow-up advances opportunities. Defending value preserves margin and respect. None of it feels dramatic in the moment. Over weeks and months, it separates the steady professionals from the inconsistent performer. Do not look for heroic moments. Do not wait for a dramatic breakthrough. Look for daily resolve. The seller who continues to prospect, follow up, and defend value when results feel slow is creating leverage most people cannot see. It may not show up this week. It may not show up this month. Over time, the steady effort compounds. What looked ordinary becomes dominant. The advantage was never loud. It was consistent. The market does not pay those who pull back at the first sign of friction. It pays those who stay in motion with purpose. It rewards the seller who protects value instead of discounting it away. It rewards the seller who maintains steady contact instead of going silent. It rewards the seller who believes in the solution enough to stand behind it. Resistance is part of the process. Progress belongs to the seller who keeps advancing anyway. When pressure rises, slow yourself and remain steady. When objections surface, ask questions, clarify the concern, and keep moving forward. When silence stretches out, return with purpose and something meaningful to add. Do not vanish and hope the situation fixes itself. Presence signals confidence. Engagement signals belief. Stay in the conversation until there is a clear outcome. You are often closer than you think. Most breakthroughs occur after the point where the average effort stops. Most people stop when progress slows or resistance increases. The disciplined seller takes one more step, one more call, one more follow-up, one more clear request for commitment. That extra action is a difference maker. Take that action when others pause, and you know they will. This is usually the dividing line between closing the deal and always wondering what might have happened. Do not quit when the workload feels heavy. Refine your approach if needed, but keep moving. Do not surrender when price pressure builds. Strengthen the value discussion and hold your position. Do not fade away when decisions take longer than expected. Remain present, useful, and engaged. Consistency under strain is what separates serious professionals from everyone else. Endurance distinguishes the professional from the casual participant. Resolve distinguishes the leader from the follower. A deal that does not close today is not a lost opportunity. It may simply need more time, more clarity, or one more disciplined step. Stay steady. Outcomes often favor the seller who remains committed long after others have stepped aside. Stay in the conversation. Stay aligned with your value. Stay committed to the process. Do not give up. Do not give in. My new book, Culture Beats Strategy, 40 Marketplace Lessons for Sellers, is now available on Amazon.com. If you like what you have heard here today, please consider ordering a copy or two. You can always send one to a friend. Go to cdmediaconsulting.com right now and follow the instructions to order.